Hi friends, how are you doing? I'm doing very well, thanks for asking. I'm Dr. Peter, and today we're going to be doing one of my favorite things ever, which is to go through a medical drama or comedy and talk about it from the acting side, because I'm an actor, as well as the medical side, because I'm a doctor. I'm a pediatrician. I love what I do. And if you're excited to see a bunch of other videos, we have a whole bunch here on the channel. So today we're going to be doing Scrubs, episode 2 of season 1.
The human brain is remarkable. Once a day for 9 years, I thought that I lost my watch because I can't remember which wrist it's on. And yet, just after 2 weeks, all the little things that scared me at first are like second nature.
Already I have something funny to share with you all because I have a story that's similar to that, not with my watch, but a colleague of mine, we were signing out a patient to him and she was having so much vomiting and diarrhea that we were concerned that she was gonna get dehydrated even though we were giving her fluids through her IV. And it seems like he's putting in an IV right now. Stool replacement just means that we're gonna weigh how much stool came out and then give it back to the patient in terms of IV fluids so that they don't get dehydrated. And my friend, I guess, was so exhausted because residents can work up to 80 hours per week on an average of 4 weeks. I guess my friend was so exhausted that he looked at me, he's like, stool replacement? How do I do that? And I was like, oh, you just count how much was lost, then you give it back to them. And he's like, I give it back to them? And I said, yeah, you give it back to them. And he said, how do I give it back to them? What do you mean? You just give it back to them? He's like, so like with my finger? I think I should have just let him try it. That's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. I respect that.
I had a run-in with that nurse Carla yesterday. She forgot to check out the statics on a patient, and then she gave me attitude about it.
What, did you tell on her or something?
Who's responsible for this?
She is. I don't remember. And why would you automatically assume it was my fault?
Should I share this story? I have a story to share. I'll share it later. It has to do with resident-nurse interactions.
How many packs a day, genius?
Half a pack?
Oh, I'm sorry. I phrased the question wrong. How many packs a day, really?
11.
11 packs?
2 or 3 packs.
Oh.
Well, let's hear it.
Oh, I don't smoke, so 0 packs.
What tests have you ordered?
Oh, I know, I was
Chest X-ray, CT scan.
We're all in on it.
I like Will. That actually makes this harder. I ordered blood cultures and a high-resolution CT.
Well, what are you looking for?
Cancer.
Cancer.
When you say the word cancer, every person reacts the same way.
Excellent.
Not like that. There it is.
How's surgery?
It rocks, but my bedroom, that's where I really operate. Am I right? Come on, show Todd some love.
I hate showing Todd love.
That's really good, because it's too on the nose, these portrayals. These people are method acting.
Please, baby, this here's the VIP table. Won't you sit your fine self down?
Ew, slap him.
Hi, how are you?
Oh no.
I need David Farr's chart.
We all need lots of things.
Great. Dr. Kelso, you're the chief of medicine. Is there a special way to communicate with the nursing staff that I'm not getting?
Oh. Should I say the story now? I think now is an appropriate time to share the story. So what had happened one time is I was speaking with the nurses and I said, oh, I'll be gone this Friday. And they said, why will you be gone this Friday? I said, well, because this Friday is July 1st and every July 1st we rotate and all the new interns start. And they were like, wait, it's already July 1st? And I was like, yeah. And they said, ugh, that means the new interns are coming. I was like, what do you mean, ugh? She's like, I don't have it in me to be mean again. And I just said, oh, why do you have to be mean? And she said, well, because I don't want them thinking they run this place. Now, to be fair, they've been there for several years, but I did not like that sort of guilty before even standing trial that all the interns would receive this sort of hazing from that one particular nurse. I should also preface, I love a majority of the nurses I work with. They're so on top of their job and they care so much for their patients and they help us, the residents, out so much, alert you to things you might have missed, and it's such a team sport. Big fan of it. I was working at the resident station and then I had found a communicator device that we use in the hospital and it said that nurse's name behind it. So I went up and I gave it to her and she's like, oh my goodness, where'd you find that? I said, I just found it in the resident station. She's like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for bringing it back. And I was like, I'm giving this to you as a token so that you can treat the interns nicely. All of medicine is a team sport.
So don't try to drag me into your pathetic, whiny little squabble with that god-awful bunch of malcontents. I hope you all kill each other.
Have a great day, ladies.
Oh, there's a war.
I hate this place.
Another funny thing about just nurse and resident, this is one where we all came together. We got an email saying that the doctors officially cannot wear navy colored scrubs because the nursing union has copyrighted it. The nurses need safer staffing ratios and they need better compensation for their work, as do the residents, but the powers that be are focusing on what color scrubs people are wearing. And I showed it to my nurse colleagues and they were like, what is happening?
You do whatever you want.
Means great idea.
I'm just happy you haven't messed up yet today.
Means you're really coming along as a doctor.
Don't ever touch me.
Means don't ever touch him.
Why did he press the elevator and then leave? Interesting. Interesting what we call blocking, which is when the director and the people who are in charge of the scene tell the actor exactly where to stand, where to go, when to deliver their lines. Sometimes you'll notice it. I was noticing it in Only Murders in the Building, that what they did here was they told this guy, I want you to click the button and then leave, which does have some weight to it because that just shows how awkward the interaction was, how uncomfortable he was with maybe talking to the patient about cancer. So he's trying to rush out of there by clicking the elevator and then he leaves. But what's wild and a bit inconsistent is that the elevator doors open. So if he really wanted to flee the scene, he could have gotten into the elevator versus walking away. It's just interesting blocking. I'm not going to say it's wrong because it communicated what it needed to. It's just interesting, like why weren't they at the nurse's station or anywhere else? He was clicking the elevator button with a mission to leave and then it opened, but he walked away.
I don't want to.
Come on.
Carla,
Uh-oh.
I should have told Dr. Kelso on you.
No, you shouldn't have.
Ah, the comfortable silences.
But thank you for apologizing.
Aw, that's sweet.
Okay, good.
I just want to make one thing clear.
See, nothing needs to be clear.
I still think you were in the wrong. Checking where the statics is your job, and I need to know that you're going to take care of it. That's all I'm saying. There.
Oh my.
All better.
No, stop. This show is too real.
Luckily, part of being a doctor is your ability to improvise.
True. What is wild to me, and hopefully to you after I say it, is that nowhere along the entire medical journey, pre-med in college, medical school, residency, attending, does anyone give you a communications class, a public speaking class? A majority of the foundation of how we communicate with each other is presentations. If someone just thought it through and just put in a singular communications class or a public speaking class, or I had to do this in med school, I came out with a medical improv class where I taught my friends the theater games that I use to be a good actor on stage, where you are each other's lifeline and you have to actively listen to each other to pretend like you're in this imaginary circumstance and make it reality for the audience who's watching you and really live together and depend on each other. I use that to teach people how to be better doctors and actually listen to their patients and communicate effectively. And he's like, wow, isn't that why I became a doctor? Which it is, but no one has taught people how to talk to people.
Done forever. He swore to me. I reached him.
He's gonna be smoking. I knew it. In the hospital? This is essentially if Lizzie McGuire became a doctor. That's what this show is, with the amount of sound effects and altered reality and voiceovers that they provide. That's what this is. This is if Lizzie McGuire went to med school.
This isn't a joke, Nobi. Get out.
But I was thinking...
Go!
I will share with you that when I was on my surgery rotation, the doctor slapped my hand, and I'm like, I'm not your child, I'm not your son. He's just like, you're doing it wrong, and he smacked my hand, and I just was like, you got a temper.
Be lonely.
Take 2 Turks is needed, applied to sensitive area. Who wrote this?
Was a great catch on that patient with meningococcus.
Well, that actually wasn't me, sir. Carla noticed the rash in his legs.
Well, that's fascinating. You could have fallen back into my good graces, and instead you passed the credit on to a nurse. How noble.
Yeah, good for her.
I'll get the cafeteria staff to write, was it worth it on a big cake for you?
I don't like him at all because he's too real.
Do you think I've damaged the
I'm
ligaments?
stressed, y'all. Is this healthy for me? I need to ask myself. To go work it and then to come watch it. I'll do it for you all because you asked.
I especially love the shelf filled with personal photos of your friends and family.
Were those like sculptures of ears right on top of the
I
frames?
especially love the shelf filled with personal photos of your friends
Yeah,
and
those
family.
are just ears. Those are funny.
Okay, if he comes at...
I've always thought of needing people as a sign of weakness.
It's not.
Aw.
Would you stay and watch the game with me? Maybe have a slice of pizza?
He's messing with him.
Of course I will.
I can braid your hair. No, I know the couch isn't very deep, but we could...
How I'd give anything just to wake up in the morning and watch you read the paper. But instead, I think you should hop off your broom for a second.
It turns out we can't save people from themselves, newbie. We just treat them. Treat that kid with a respiratory problem, and when he comes back with cancer, go ahead and treat that too. Smokers, drinkers, druggies, fatties, whatever. All I'm saying is that if you keep living and dying on whether or not a person changes, well, you're not going to make it as a doctor.
This is why I am a massive proponent of what we have forgotten in this world, which is preventative medicine. Let me try that one more time without stuttering. Preventative medicine. The fact that we are capitalizing on people's illness, waiting for you to get sick in order to treat you rather than teaching you to be healthy. I had maybe 4 hours of nutrition classes in medical school. Everything else was teaching me how to help sick people, not really how to prevent people from getting sick. And he's saying the same thing. This is why I chose pediatrics and not adult medicine, because in adult medicine, it takes a lot to convince someone who's already committed to their ways to change how they live their lives versus intervening when a child is already trying to figure the world out and you tell them this is how to live healthily. And then in trying to keep the child healthy, the parents are hearing you. So many parents, I've talked to the children about how to read a nutrition facts label and how much sugar is added to the juice and the soda that they drink. And the parents are like, you're making me not want to drink too. And I'm like, that's the point. I heard an amazing analogy, which is there are children drowning in a river and the emergency physician, the doctor who's in the emergency department, will jump in and save one kid at a time. Then a little bit upstream the river, there is a pediatrician who's going in with huge nets and trying to save as many kids as they can. But they're also missing some, but they're catching much more. Then upstream the river, there is someone who's like, wait a minute, and that's the public health person who's like, why are there even kids drowning in the river? What's happening upstream? So you go up and try to find the source of where the problems are coming from. It's crazy.
So when's the baby due?
What baby?
Yeah, but you told me not
Geez,
to.
JD, would you be a man? Look, if you can't stick to your convictions, you'll never make it as a doctor.
Lizzie McGuire. This is Lizzie McGuire.
I can't believe your head exploded. If your head explodes, you'll never make it as a doctor. I mean, come on, you look ridiculous.
That's so interesting that they didn't even come back to the janitor story beat. That's so interesting. Did that close at all? Does that continue in the next episode? I have no idea, but what a cool show. This is still funny and it has a lot of truth and realistic interactions, which is where the comedy is. I tell everyone, if you've seen Superstore, you know how it is in a hospital, because it's no different. Thank you all so much for watching with me. Thank you for commenting. I'm a big fan of getting to know each and every one of you, and it always makes me smile whenever someone reaches out. Really cathartic for me to know that other people know what it is that I go through, enough that they made a TV show about it. But now it's time to make another kind of TV show, which I'm working on the back end, and another Scrubs episode was already recorded. A pretty cool one, really cool one that I filmed with a guest star. So exciting things are coming soon. Ciao.